Well, we woke up this morning, my wife and I were a bit bored. It is an absolutely lovely day, and so I've convinced her that we should go off-roading to a place called Drumclog. Drumclog is, I think, the biggest off-road centre in Scotland. It's very muddy, it's very difficult. Lots of YouTube videos of people getting stuck there, and I'm probably going to be one of them. So let's head over there. It's about a 45-minute drive, and I'll let you know what I discover about Drumclog and about the Land Cruiser, and I'll get my wife to drive, and hopefully it'll be a fun day. So we'll take my son, who's 3. Let's go check out Drumclog.
And it's Land Rover Central, as you might imagine. So after you check in, you head up this sort of alleyway thing. Oh, by the way, there's bikes everywhere, including that cute little kid. So this is the entranceway, which, even after a dry week...
This is the gentle bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a swamp. So I'm on all-terrain tyres, wondering how I'm even going to get through the starter area. So I thought I'll cut across the ruts and see if that gets me more traction. Looking for a dry patch over here.
Easy peasy. You want the window open? Yeah. He's got a snorkel on, that guy. He's a real deal.
Yeah, and mud tyres.
Oh.
He's got actual tyres on. We do not. So I'm completely out of my depth here.
So first thing we encountered was this sort of puddle area with a big splash, so thought I'd get the wheels wet. It felt like it was really deep, but I wasn't. That's what she said. I know. This is just with my suspension in normal mode. These guys were the real deal. Hear the bubbles coming off his exhaust. We'll encounter these guys again later on, because they're going to rescue us when we get stuck. You can hear my wife in the background having a very good time. Jessie decided she wanted to have a go. When she gets round here, it gets to about a 30-degree angle. Absolutely panics. She's like, nope, I don't like it. Look at that happy little face though. I did have to tell her she completely missed the puddle. Alright, so we're getting to the end of the warm-up here. Got our wheels a little wet. We've both had a turn of driving. So time to explore Drumclog.
He's away.
It's these Land Rover guys again. This car will be winching us later. Heading down my slope, low range, first gear. Try not to use the brakes.
It's not so bad, but it doesn't the brakes though.
To me as a novice, that looks like he's going to topple over, but he clearly knows what he's doing. These guys are having a lot of fun. Cigarettes in the mouth, living their best lives, and their cheap discoveries. So this is my first attempt at climbing some mud. I was very nervous. Centre diff lock on. Car managed it with ease. Paused for a bit of lunch. Tailgate, Land Cruiser, gotta do it. But this place was enormous. Absolutely huge. We only discovered a small pocket of it. He had a good time. Got a bit hung up on a big rock here, and as a complete novice I was trying to be gentle with it. Sounds good though. So this is my first off-road day, so everything was slow and nervous. I was trying not to be too extreme, trying not to break the car. Of course everyone says when you've got 35-inch tyres, you're going to break your drive shafts immediately.
We're pretty badly stuck, there are no good choices, so I'm just going to have to send it through a place where I'm pretty sure I'm going to get stuck.
Fucking send it. If no option is a good option, then there's no bad option.
Yeah.
This is where all these people have got stuck and broken down.
This is going to hurt, I think.
So with a full-on traffic jam there, I couldn't get past, so I had to go through the mud and just gun it. And this is where it all went wrong. Took the driest line and ended up to my floor.
That's a problem.
Stuck along with everyone else. So I hooked up my rope and attempted to flag down someone who could help us. Nice spot for a picnic. But here they come, our rescuers. So they came from completely the other end of the park. What a bunch of heroes. That left-hand corner was really tight when we came around there. It was hard going. Especially since I'm trying not to damage my paint, but these guys had no mercy, they just went for it. And so it makes me want to get mud tires. Coming up to the traffic jam.
So that is going to winch us out of there. That's the plan.
So you'll be able to see here how my rear diff lock is broken, because the centre diff is working fine, and so you'll see the car is moving power to both front and back axles. But it's switching sides from left and right as the traction control tries to find whichever wheel has power. So at this point it's driving the front right and the back left wheel. Now the wheels on the other side are completely dead and it's only the left wheels that are locked. So it's just moving the power left and right, but it's always driving both axles. So it was a bit of a weird experience. So I got to get my rear diff lock fixed or replaced. Even with the winch on, the progress was impossible. This was all winch. So I had to get over my shame of being rescued by a Land Rover.
That's ridiculous.
So the chap said, get it in the river, drive through, it will clean the wheels up a little bit.
Well, we are out, thanks to a very nice man called Lee. Pulled us out of that swamp. Now we've got to see if we can go home.
Now, Drumclog itself was actually great. It had facilities here, it had a generator running, it had bathrooms, these picnic tables, they had a hot food cafe. We bought some chocolate and some chips and cheese. My son was playing with the games that they'd left out. He's having a good time. That is called a Clog dog, something of a local institution. There's the aforementioned chips and cheese. And my wife absolutely sniping the child. Merciless.
Well, just a little damage report before the rain washes it all off. Looks pretty good. A fair amount of roots in there. Undersealing has held up well. I'm glad I got that done. This is a terrible design because it just catches all the mud. The back is filthy. Don't think we got any scratches on the front, maybe down the bottom there. It's bad, it's just got that respray that I've made it manky again. So again, the bottom corner caught a bit of damage where it got swamped. Again, loads of mud inside there. But generally speaking, oh, and there's a turd on my windscreen. Not my windscreen, my mirror. That's pretty manky in there. Again, it's just a mud catch. Terrible design. I think the only damage really is to my towing electrics, which now have half a forest in them. I think that's the only thing that we could say is damage. Unfortunately, I now need to go and move the trailer, so I need my towing electrics. So let's hope that that has survived. I'll give that an old brush in a minute, because I need them. But that's the only thing that appears to have taken damage from our off-road adventure. Oh, except I might have absolutely scuffed up my newly painted bumper. But hey ho, we'll see how that goes.
1 week later.
This was easy enough to replace. Oh, well, not replace, all I did was bend it back in and it works absolutely fine. It worked with my trailer. There is the rear diff lock definitely isn't working, but I don't know whether it's the wiring or the actuator rod itself. I can't even see where the wires go, so that's going to need some investigation. That's probably the most expensive part, because if I need a new actuator, that's 600 quid just for the part. A few new scuffs on my already badly painted bumper. Not exactly 400 quid well spent. I don't see any problem with the anti-roll bar on this side, so I'm going to assume it is the drop link, where the thread was already a bit stripped. The other thing is my rear diff breather. Funnily enough, I replaced the front one. I didn't realise the back one had a problem as well, because basically I saw this dangling down underneath the car like that. So I will have to fix it to a new mounting position, but I think I'll extend it at the same time. I might just run it up the fuel pipe rather than doing something fancy with running it all the way to the front of the engine, like the retail kits do. I might just run it a bit higher up the diesel fuel line, because I'm not going to go that deep with this car. I've got no snorkel, I'm not swimming it. I refuse to swim it, it'll be too damaging. Anyway, not an awful lot of damage to report. That's a bit of a win.